Hello, my name is Julia Onel and I'm a naturalist at Walter B. Jacobs Memorial Nature Park, which is one of Caddo Parish parks. Welcome to an introduction to acrylic painting program. We are going to paint today a burning candle, a Christmas light. I took pictures from the internet and I'm going to use all of them. I take more than one picture to see different aspects of whatever I'm going to be painting. So this is the top part. I'm going to use this, but the candles, kind of will look like this. That's how they go down. At the bottom, since it's Christmas candle, I'm going to paint some Christmas plants as decoration to the bottom, and I'm going to use these pictures to paint the plants. For this painting, we're going to use 10 by 8 or whichever size you want canvas, and a mop brush for blending everything in. Number 20 filbert, number 8 filbert, number 2 flat head thin brush, and a liner. The paints that we're going to need are medium yellow, titanium white, permanent black, crimson, burnt umber, and sap green, and lily pad green. I'm gonna mix these with burnt umber. Okay, if you're ready, let's begin. Before we start painting, first paint the canvas into black altogether, because it's easier to paint white on a dark background. And we have to wait until the black paint is totally dry. Okay, first with a very, very light color, I will just draw a sketch of the candle here. And we will do some flowers, leaves, Christmas berries, and a couple of leaves at the bottom, and we will do the light around here. So according to this, first we have to start painting the light emitted by the candle light. This is where the candle light is going to be. Basically, we're going to work on this, painting it white now. We're going to wait for this to dry. Paint the background, the light slowly disappearing into the darkness. So I'm going to wait for this to dry. So this is dry. So let's do the area that this light eliminates. Where I'm using my number 8 filbert for this. So starting from here, this is very light mixture of orange, and I'm going to constantly soften the edges with my mop brush. I'm using number 20 filbert because this has soft touch, so I don't have to worry about blending the edges too much. I will still use my mop brush to blend the edges. It doesn't matter if you paint over the flame, because we're going to paint the flame anyway. This is just an indication of plate location. As you see, I'm not using too much paint as I go outward, because this is what I want anyway, less and less paint, so it will be easier to blend this light in. I will make the middle part a little bit darker late in time, I mean layer after layer, let me put it that way. And with the mop brush, very carefully, I don't want to take off the paint. I'm just getting rid of these brush. Let's take a little bit, make the middle part darker. Middle part is darker orange. As my paint is getting less and less on my brush, I am putting it on the edges. I expand outward because that's what I want, little bit of paint as the light goes farther from the candle. And I'm kind of touching, not brushing, just touching. So I want to get rid of some of the brush marks. So this middle part. This is dark orange. Let's blend it in. It doesn't matter if it covers the flame. We're going to paint the flame later anyway. I don't like these empty spaces here. It's not holding paint. I'm going to wait for it to dry a little bit, and I'm going to fill in these with paint too. Okay, so I'm putting here very carefully. I think it is dry enough. It's holding paint now. It is bright orange. I'm trying to make each side symmetrical. Disperse this a little bit more. Okay, so now we're going to paint this part, like this. With the thin brush, I'm going to take the white, it is pure white, like we did in the beginning. Kind of round on top. This is very white. I'm gonna wait for this to dry a little bit so I can start working on the edges. So with my, now I switch to my thin brush. This flame is pure white. In the picture, as you see, we're painting this, or this. It's pure white, and then we're gonna make this glow around it. Okay, let's do it. The middle part especially is. Okay, we need to separate this part. It's kind of. Okay, there's a wicker here. A wick. Okay, I messed this up here, so I'm gonna try to correct this part. I'm gonna do the candle. Okay, the middle part is a little bit darker. It's not straight, there's a blob of burnt candle there. There's a melted part here and a little bit of drip here too. I'm using pure white right now. Okay, so the candle goes down like this. Of course, the edges are the brightest. The middle part is. So we're going to slowly go down. As it goes down, it will start disappearing into the dark. It's getting away from its light. The candle is kind of yellowish. The shadows are orangey. So we're going to use the same colors again to start. This is an orange candle, or red, whichever way you want it. I'm going to switch to a bigger brush, filbert 8. too much water. As it goes down, I'm going to add black to this orange. Yeah, be careful, don't, if you make it too black. Lighter orange. I will make a little bit of white, make the top part lighter, and make one side lighter than the other side, as if some light is coming from one direction towards the candle. Okay, I think I'm gonna work on a little bit more on this light flame. The flame is not all the way white. There's a darker portion. It is kind of like black, orange, dark orange, and it goes to yellow. Let's do that. So the light at the bottom is really... Let me get a smaller brush to do that. I went back to my flat head small brush. Okay, I think I'm gonna put this first layer. And then orange. It's orange here. And then yellow. Yellow. Of course, this needs to be blending in again. I like this part. I'm going to make this part a little bit sharper white, the tip of the flame, the round part. It doesn't have to be round. I'm doing it round because it's like that in the picture. You can make it a skinny light too. and there is this slight yellow on each side that it emits bright light. Kinda I'm using yellow. I'm going to blend it in. A little bit of white, make it lighter. It's too much. Let me see if I can get this too muchness with my mop brush. Slowly dissipate. Yes, now it looks better. I think it is better now. Very light. Yellow. If you make this dissipating light into the dark wider, it will make it look better, I guess. I want it to disappear ever so slowly into the darkness. Because that's what happens with the light. Oops. No big deal. Let's just use the mop brush to get all right. Okay, I think we're done with the candle. I'm going to make this bottom part a little bit darker with black. Your candles don't cast light to their bottom, to the bottom of the candle. Okay, we're done with the candle. There's a little brim here. Okay. Let's make this. When the light hits the protrusions, and there's a protrusion here, so this should be really shining. This part should be really light. It's like it's sitting here, and also the brim. On top of this. Now we're going to put some Christmas flowers at the bottom. Kind of like these leaves, and you know, some of these maybe. Let's see what we will do. I think I'm going to draw some. Okay, I got my thin brush, liner, and first I'm going to draw the stems. Brown will not be visible. I'm going to use green. This is lily pad green. It is lighter than the others, so I can see. I'm going to these are going to be pine. Let's draw the evergreen leaves. That's one. It's easier to draw the middle ridge of a leaf, any leaf, and then you can go around it, starting from either at the end or from the top or from the bottom. So this is the top. One more of this leaf. And 3 red. Maybe put the reds with white. Oh, I think this is good enough. If you like, you can draw one more pine here. I'm using sap green for, let's see how it. I'm mixing sap green with burnt umber because this sap green is it's too bright. This is lily pad green. I'm mixing lily pad green with sap green and with burnt umber, and I will keep playing until I get the green that I like. This can't be too bright because these are in the dark, on this dark side of the candle. I think I'm going to leave it like this. Let's do the reds. This white background makes the red brighter after it dries. First paint a white one, and then you can paint, after this dries, you can paint the red. The white background will make these reds look redder, brighter. Okay, I'm gonna paint the evergreen leaves now. These are really dark green in the nature, so that's what I'm gonna do. Of course, we have to add some shadow to the edges. Light is hitting the edges. Let's not get carried away with the leaves because these are all in the dark at the bottom. So I'm going to put the reds now. It is dry enough. And from the candlelight, let's put some shine on them. From the top, let's say it comes from here. I'm going to put some shadow in between these because they're not in pure light in the first place. Okay. Candlelight is completed. We have completed another introduction to acrylic painting program. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed painting your Christmas candle. See you next time.